Good morning, students. I am going to start a lesson, A Day in the Ashram, which is written by C.F. Andrews. C.F. Andrews was an English priest of the Church of England. He came to India in 1904 and worked in St. Stephen's College, Delhi. He was a social reformer who stood for the Indian cause, and Gandhiji called him as Deenabandhu, a friend of the poor. He became Mahatma Gandhiji's closest friend and associated. And in this lesson, he reveals his experience while he stayed in the Shanti Niketan ashram. Okay, he is briefly explaining his experience while he stayed in the Shanti Niketan ashram. So, this is a picture of Shanti Niketan, an abode of learning unlike any in the world, was founded by Rabindranath Tagore. Shantiniketan is Rabindranath Tagore's vision of place of learning established in 1863 with an aim of helping education go beyond the confine of the classroom. He wanted his students to feel free despite being in the formal learning environment of a school. So now I'm going to read a lesson. First paragraph, it's like this. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. Our own poet and teacher, whom we call Gurudeva, has named it in his song the darling of our hearts, and it is worthy of the name. All who have visited the ashram, old and young alike, have felt its inner beauty growing more and more upon them. So explanation is like this. C.F. Andrews describes a day in the ashram, and he says that words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. That means there is no words that can be describe the beauty of Shantiniketan. So no words. That means words cannot describe the beauty of Shantiniketan. Our own poet and teacher. Your own poet and teacher refers to Rabindranath Tagore, whom we call as Gurudeva. So our own poet and teacher, that is Rabindranath Tagore, whom we call Gurudeva, has named it. Here it refers to Shantiniketan. He refers to Shantiniketan in his song as the darling of our hearts. Okay, and it is worthy of it. Okay, and all who have visited the ashram, that is the people who visited this ashram, no, all have felt its inner beauty. The people who visited this ashram, that is young and old, have experienced the peace, okay, and inner beauty that prevails there. So I think you all understood the meaning. Words cannot picture to you the beauty of Shantiniketan. He says, C.F. Andrews describes a day in the ashram. He says that there is no words that cannot describe the beauty of Shantiniketan. Our own poet and teacher, that is Rabindranath Tagore, whom we call as Gurudeva, has named it, that is Shantiniketan, in his song as the darling of our hearts, and it is worthy. Okay, all who have visited, that is the people who have visited here, have felt, okay, have experienced the place, okay, and inner beauty that prevails there. Okay, now second paragraph. If I were to describe to you one day in the ashram with the boys, that would perhaps best bring home to you its inner beauty. Long before sunrise, like the birds in our amloki groves, our boys are awake. The choristers are the first to rise, and they go round the ashram singing their morning hymn. You can hear the voice in the distance drawing nearer and nearer, and then the sound dies away as the choir passes on to another part of the ashram, and then again it comes nearer and nearer. The beauty of the sound in the silent morning air and the sense of joy, reverence give peace to the soul. So here the poet says that one day in the ashram, that means a day in the ashram begin with the boys. Okay, so if I were to describe, that means if CF Andrews says that if he has to describe one day in the ashram with the boys, that would perhaps bring home to you its inner beauty. And he says that the day in the ashram begins before sunrise, long before sunrise. Day in the ashram begin before sunrise. Like the birds in our amloki grow, our boys are awake. So the students in the ashram are the people, that is the students in the ashram, they get up early in the morning. So day in the ashram begin before sunrise, and it is these boys who get up early in the morning, and they are compared to the birds. See, the long before sunrise, like the birds in our amloki grows, our boys are awake. So here the early risers are boys, and they are being compared to the birds in our amloki. Amloki means a tree, okay, are like a mango tree. So the boys are compared to the birds in the amloki tree. Okay, the choristers are the first to rise. What is the meaning of choristers? The members who sing in the choir. What is meant by choir? A group of singers. So members of the choir are the first risers. They go around the ashram singing their morning hymns. Hymns means a song in praise to God. So who is the early riser? The choristers. Who is this choristers? A group, that is members who sing in the choir, in the group. So these choristers are the first to rise, and they go around the ashram singing their morning hymn. Hymn means a song in praise to God, and you can hear the voice in the distance drawing nearer and nearer. That means they start singing, and as they come closer you could see them singing loudly, and they go around as the choir passes on to another part of the ashram. You could see that the voice, that is the slowly going down, that means sound dies away gradually, sound become weaker as the choir passes on to another part of the ashram, and then again it comes nearer and nearer. So the day in the ashram begin with the choristers, and it is these boys who are the early risers, and they choristers, they go around the ashram singing their morning hymn, and you could see the voice go drawing nearer and nearer and then coming down. Okay, and this beauty of the sound in the ashram, in the silent morning air, and the sense of joy, reverence brings peace to the soul. That means it is a kind, that means it says that the sound of the song in the silence morning bring a sense of joy and peace to the soul. The sound of the song in the silence morning bring a joy and peace to the soul. Now third paragraph, after an interval, that is after some time, each boy takes his asan, his square of carpet, into the field and sit down on to it to meditate in his own place alone. Later on, before the schoolwork begins, the boys all stand together in the shade of the tree and sing their hymns. So here, after an interval, that means after some time, each boy, they take their asan, his square of carpet, go into the field, sit down there to meditate. Later on, before the schoolwork begin, okay, all the boys, they stand together in the shade of the tree and sing their hymns. As I told him, it's a song in praise of the God. Fourth paragraph, okay, till about 10:30, then works of the school goes on. We have no classroom. The boys sit with their teachers in the open air under the trees. There are no larger classes. A group of 8 to 10 boys are seated around the teachers asking him questions. Very few books are used. Greater part is carried on through conversation. The boys soon learn to open out all their difficulties, so the teachers and the teachers get keenly interested in the boys' questions and answer. Such living education can never be dull. So here the poet is telling, that means the writer is showing us what is the difference. That means the classes how at Shantiniketan are different from the classes what we have today. So he says that till half past 10 works of the school goes on. Okay, after 10 or 10 and a half, that means after 10:30 the school work goes on. And they say that they do not have classroom. The school work goes on till half past 10. Then there is no, they say that there is no classrooms. The boys sit with their teachers in the open air. There is no classroom. The Shantiniketan boys, they sit with their teacher under the tree in the open air. There are no larger classes. A group of 8 to 10 boys, okay, they sit, a group of 8 to 10 boys, they sit with their teachers under the tree in an open air, okay, asking him the questions. They ask the questions to the teachers, and very few books are used, and greater part is carried on through conversation, through discussions. And the boys learn to open out all their difficulties. It means this kind of discussions encourage the children to ask questions and discuss their problems. And even the teachers are also very keenly interested in the boys question and answers. So there the writer says that there is no pressure, there is no pressure on the boys, okay, and they feel free and they enjoy learning in such an atmosphere. So here Andrews is trying to tell us how the classrooms and how the school Shantiniketan is different from what do we have. Okay, there is no large classrooms. Students sit with their teachers. That is 8 to 10 boys. They sit around the teachers under the tree in the open air, and few textbooks are used, and greater part is carried on through conversation. And the boys try to learn. That means all pose their questions to the teachers, and the teachers are also keenly interested in answering the questions of the students. And the writer says there is no pressure on the boys, and they feel free and enjoy learning in such an atmosphere. Okay students, I think you have understood till here, and I'll continue in the next class.